What's flapping? Something with wings? Welcome to Monkey Boys Toys, and welcome back to the item of seating furniture that consistently proves itself to be the sofa. Thanks very much for joining me again. Here's a very heavy microwavable lamb to look at. Now this week I thought I'd like to show you guys some more Ghostbusters figures, this time from the Diamond Select range. And these ones are a little bit peculiar. I'm not quite sure what I make of them, but we'll have a look at them together and we'll come to a decision at the end. So first things first, I need to remove the rather heavy microwavable lamb from the shop, and we can bring in the first item. Okay, and here is Dana Barrett. As I said, this figure was released by Diamond Select, and this came out in 2016. I'm sorry if there's any flicker on the screen. My lights don't particularly like this plastic. Anyway, so yes, here is the Dana Barrett figure. Now this is probably my least favourite of the female Ghostbusters figures in the line, because it is rather boring, but nevertheless I picked this up for a really good price and I did want it in the collection. Just a quick word about the packaging that comes with these figures. It is obnoxiously large. Although the figures do come with diorama pieces, which to a certain extent justifies some of the size of the packaging, I still feel that these Diamond Select boxes are incredibly and unnecessarily big, but I really like that. As an in-box collector, I must say they do take up a lot of real estate, which isn't always ideal, but there's something quite nice about having this sort of almost offensively large box for what is essentially a 6-7 inch figure. So yeah, I do like that, in fact. Not sure what your thoughts are on oversized packaging, but quite like these anyway. If we just flip it around to the back before we have a look at the figure itself, we've just got an image there of the figure, and showing a little call out there to a couple of the other figures that you can get, Egon and Peter there. And it also says here, collect all 15 figures to build the rooftop scene. But there is no image of the rooftop scene for you to see, certainly not on this one. Anyway, let's have a look at the figure. Here is Dana Barrett. Now, this isn't the worst face sculpt of the female characters, in my opinion. It's not great. The hair doesn't look particularly good. And yeah, her face isn't amazing. I mean, it is sort of Sigourney Weaver-ish, isn't it? It's not the worst face sculpt I've seen of Sigourney Weaver. But it's certainly not the best. As I say, she does come with diorama pieces to build the rooftop scene, and she comes with 2 spare hands here. They both look to be the left hand, sorry, her right hand. Not quite sure what that's about, but there we go. So rather an uninspiring Dana Barrett figure there from Diamond Select. Let's move on and see what the next one is. If I just pop her there for now, we'll bring in the next one, which is Goza the Destructor. Now this, I think, is a slightly better figure in terms of interest, although the face sculpt leaves quite a lot to be desired, and we'll have a look at that in a second. Let's just flip it around to the back, and here we can see an image of Goza there, and 2 of the other figures available in the line. We have Walter Peck there and a slimed Peter Venkman. Now here it does show us the rooftop scene that you can build if you collect all of the characters in the wave, all 15 characters. You're able to build the rooftop diorama with the terror dogs and such. So there we go. So let's have a look at the Goza figure. First impressions, not too bad. The face sculpt isn't very good. It's a little bit bland, and I think a lot of the details of the eyes get lost in the paint application. So it's not the best of face sculpts, really. What I've got more of a problem with is in fact the second face sculpt, which appears to be, well, she appears to have her eyes slightly wider open and her mouth open. I don't know what that sort of area, it looks like she's got a fang, doesn't it? So I think her mouth paint has not been applied particularly well, or there's been a mistake there, because is that actually on her mouth, or is it just an artifact in the bubble? It might be an artifact in the bubble actually, because I can see it's moving a bit as I do this, so that's not actually on her mouth. But anyway, it's a bit distracting. But yeah, I don't think these sort of face sculpts are significantly different to justify having made one of each. But anyway, there's Goza. She's covered in these sort of bubbles and sort of, I guess, well, it was almost like bubble wrap, wasn't it? Packing material that she's covered in almost. Yeah, so there's Goza the Destructor. We'll pop her off to one side here, and then we'll bring in the final female character in the line, and this one is my favourite purely because it's just so awful, and that's Janine Melitz. Now you'll notice I haven't shown you her face sculpt as yet. We'll save that for the end because it is quite alarming. Here is the front of the box. Let's flip it round and have a look. Again, there is Janine, reluctant to show you her face. We can also get Slimer and Quit in Time Ray in the collection, and there again is the rooftop diorama. Now you will notice that this figure is dressed rather dowdily in a sort of frumpy, not very flattering cardigan, grey skirt, tights, not the most toyetic looking of action figures. Let's flip her around to the front, and we'll have a look at that face sculpt. But before I do, let's just have a look at Annie Potts from the film here. As you can see, she was probably in her late 20s to early 30s, a very pretty woman, looking very cool there. And now let's have a look at the face sculpt that they decided was appropriate for this figure. What is that? Literally, what is that? She looks like she's about 60. Those glasses are ridiculous. I mean, I'm aware they can't make glasses to scale very easily, particularly in 2016, but they look like they've been piped on with some sort of cake icing bag. Very peculiar. But yeah, the face sculpt is just appalling. It really doesn't do her any justice at all. Poor Annie Potts. There are very few Janine figures made of her likeness, and when they have been, they've done that to her. So there we go. There's Janine Melitz looking rather horrifying. She does come with a couple of spare hands, the buzzer, of course, that she presses to alert the Ghostbusters that they have a call. She comes with the telephone, just here, and also comes with 2 packages of takeaway food. It seems like there's a box that is sealed and closed, and then there is another box we can see here where you can see the food contents inside. Not quite sure what that's about because I don't recall her eating takeaway in the movie, but perhaps she did, and I've just kind of missed that part. But there we go. So there's Janine Melitz, and that rounds out my collection of 3 female Ghostbusters from the 2016 Diamond Select line. So I hope that you like the look of those figures, or if you didn't, let me know in the comments and let me know quite how bizarre you find them to be. But yeah, so that's about all I've got for this week. Thanks very much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please do share the channel with any other something with wings you may know. Do give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. But until next week, I think I'm going to get the flock out of here. See you next time. Bye.